It's pretty obvious that I don't have much of a voice, so I don't want to pain you that to listen to me. Matt Johnson, our chief of staff, quite mad up here to take my place in a few moments, and so he can see this event today. I've never had this before where I'm speechless. Those of you that know me well probably glad that I am. I want to say this to you. Thank you for coming out today. I look around here today and I see this audience. All of our partners in so many different ways. You know as well as I do, nobody does this by themselves. It is very meaningful for you to give up your afternoon to be here today. This is a time-honored experience of celebrating people coming together, working together, the topping off ceremony. And we're so excited about the new facility that's going to be constructed here and be finished in December this year behind me. 350,000 square feet, equivalent of 6 football fields. Pretty amazing. Those of you that were here and aware of the farm show we had this last week, we had a waiting list of 978 exhibitors. Can you imagine, on a waiting list just to get in? We get the keys in December this year for this project. We'll be able to fill it next year with existing bid. That's a very good business plan. Matt Johnson will be coming up to help with the introductions of our people. But the people behind me, I just want to share just briefly about them if I may. We wouldn't be here today with a lot of support. Dr. Williams is a gentleman from Danville, Kentucky that understands agriculture, a very successful businessman. Dr. Williams grew up showing here, he used this facility, and his children as well. He realizes the impact that this property has. Our board of directors over here, Dr. David Wallace and others, have spent so many hours working on this project, giving direction, helping with it. We appreciate that. Then I think about our mayor. He and his wife Rachel are here at both of our facilities often. We appreciate his support and his leadership in what he does. And then I think about Brandon Reed behind me. He's representing Commissioner Shell, Department of Agriculture today. I first met him when he was wearing a blue and gold jacket, state FFA president. He's attended our board meetings. He served 4 terms in the General Assembly. And he was vice chair of the House Appropriations Committee when the legislature approved phase 1 of our funding, working closely with Representative Spectry and Senator Daniels on the Senate side. And then I think about our Speaker Osborne. Served 20 years in the General Assembly, a smart businessman, a realtor. His degrees in economics and ag economics, a farmer, involved in every aspect of the equine industry. He understands firsthand this facility. I get to hear a lot of people talk about their experiences at Freedom Hall. I hope you wouldn't mind me saying he and his lovely wife Lori had their first day here at Freedom Hall at a horse show. It continues to come. We all have our Freedom Hall stories in these facilities. And then I think about President Stivers. He and 2-3 others got together many months ago and had a conversation about what we can do for Louisville, what they can do, what can make a difference. A man that has a degree in industrial management, economics, and law from Southeast Kentucky. I remember writing a letter to the Courier-Journal supporting what he was doing for us in this town. And many times it was impacting his area. He realized the impact it had, but a lot of people here didn't realize where he was from. Last night, he also gets recognized as the senator from the 39th district of Jefferson County, even though there's 38 senators. We have a lot of House members here, Senate members in the audience today. They've been very supportive. We have members of the Metro Council. We have the Chamber of Commerce, GLI. We have the Sports Commission. We have a lot of different groups that come together. From my standpoint, when I first got in this role, it was wonderful to see the ability of people to have good communication. But today we got better coordination. And I think that's going to give us a bright future. You're seeing here today Ace Hardware moving in this facility. A lot of people worked a long time to get Ace Hardware to come here. 15,000 people will be attending their convention this week. That's a big plus for us. And there's more out there like Ace. If you walk by Freedom Hall, you'll see the new seats at the lower level. They're going to be using that Saturday, so you'll see them regularly now, getting ready for it. Thank you for the funding to put this at the lower level. We weren't able to do the top level, but at least got the lower level going. That's enough for me, but I just want to tell you what a blessing it is for me to be in this role. When you have 280 plus different clients a year between our properties, anywhere from 5 to 8 million people come through the doors, every state represented, every county in Kentucky. This last year, over 80 countries walked through these doors. Year prior to that, about 110. You got to have a dedicated staff, and we couldn't do what we do without the funding, without the partnerships, without our dedicated staff. Some of you may remember when we renovated Keck downtown, it was closed for 2 years. In my opinion, it was devastating to the business community here locally doing that. The decision was made, we're going to keep these doors open while we do that. Can you imagine keeping the doors open? And Calhoun Construction has been great. Smith Associates have been great to work with. But we're able to accommodate the business. As I say often, we're not afraid of competition. We just won't shop anywhere else. So we're going to keep on having it on in. Thank you for the opportunity to be here today. See if you some words forward. I want to ask Mr. Matt Johnson, our Chief of Staff. Matt has joined us October 1. Matt is a dedicated man. He's helped serve these facilities. He served the Commonwealth in many ways. As a member of the Kentucky State Police, he retired as a major. A man who can say yes and delivers, and know and back it up. And we're glad to have him with us. The 16 different events, the top ones in this area, on an annual basis, 15 of them are here. And he's helped work most of them. So Matt Johnson, if you would come up, I'd appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Mr. Beck. As he said, I'm very excited to be a part of this team. I've only been here for a short period of time. Growing up in Louisville, I would often come to the state fair, and working anti-frame security was one of the first employment roles that I ever had. So it's near and dear to my heart. But overall, what this facility has and what the potential that it has is nothing short of amazing. And you would only see that if you came last week and you saw during the National Farm Machinery Show. That was a little overwhelming when you figure 300,000 people walked through these doors in a period of 4 days. So that is just one sign, one of the 6 in-house shows that we have, that we produce, that aren't going anywhere. And they're only growing. And they're only growing because of the amazing staff that we have here at Kentucky Venues. And we hear that from client after client when they come back. Our legacy clients, our clients that have been here for more than 40 years, they say that your #1 asset and the reason we return is your people. That doesn't fall on deaf ears with us. We are very blessed with the amazing people and staff to be able to produce these events in our community. And this right here is an economic driver to our community. You will see people from every state, from hundreds of countries, come and visit this location because of what we can bring. So we are very thankful to have this opportunity today to have you join us for such an amazing opportunity, an amazing day to be a part of history. These buildings will exist long after we are gone. And they will support our community, our children, by providing opportunities for them to remain here close in Kentucky. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce Dr. David Williams. He is our chairman of our board of directors for the Kentucky State Fair Board. And I'll bring him up to the podium for a few announcements. Dr. Williams.
On behalf of the Board of Directors of the Kentucky State Fair Board, it's my privilege and opportunity to say a word of welcome to you all for being here today as we celebrate and recognize another great step in the evolution of the Kentucky Expo Center with the activities and buildings and the progress that's being made. I'm very fortunate to serve on a board that is very dedicated to serving Kentucky. We have men and women from Owensboro, Greenville, Hopkinsville on the west, Louisville, Central Kentucky, Northern Kentucky, and as far east as Owensville. These men and women are here to serve and they're here because of their appreciation for the Commonwealth and what these properties mean to all of us as Kentuckians. My journey here began in 1958 when I slept in the West Wing with my Hereford steer that I brought here as my 4-H project. My children have shown cattle and horses here. My grandchildren have exhibited here at the State Fair with their craft projects. So your board is a group of men and women who are committed to Kentucky, and they are committed to serve. I had the opportunity to serve on a committee that selected the new catering company for Kentucky venues. And the point that I want to make is we are here to look out for the best interest of all of Kentucky. We recognize the economic impact this property brings to the Louisville area. But let me remind you of this. We were successful in negotiating in that catering contract that a minimum of 20% of the food products served at Kentucky venues, this property, the Expo Center, would come from local or Kentucky farm families. So as Mr. Beck said, I'm an ag guy, and it really pleases me that we now have the opportunity for Kentucky food products to be highlighted at the Expo Center. And I'm pleased to tell you, for the first time in my experience at the Farm Machinery Show, the ground beef that was served here came from animals that grazed the pasture lands of rural Kentucky, and they were owned and cared for by Kentucky farm families. This project, this property affects all of us as Kentuckians. I told Mayor Greenberg, I really enjoy hearing him say, this is a place for all Kentuckians to come together, rural and urban. I hope you say it again today. On behalf of the directors, thank you all for being here, and let's all celebrate another achievement in the history of the Kentucky Expo Center. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. I'd like to now bring Mayor Craig Greensburg to the podium here to give his remarks on behalf of the city. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Matt. David, thank you for your leadership of the Kentucky Venues team. Today we're celebrating what this team has accomplished and where it is headed. This facility means so much to Louisville. It means so much to the entire state of Kentucky. And I could not be more proud to support David and the entire team here and all of the great partners that are with us here today celebrating this important event. It's a sign of the great progress that's happening right here at the Kentucky Fairgrounds. It's a sign of the great progress that's happening in Louisville and all across the entire community. Yes, indeed, this is a place that brings people together from rural parts of our state, from urban parts of our state, together to whether it's to come to a convention like ACE or whether it's to celebrate something else and enjoy things that are going on here. Bringing people together and seeing how much more we have in common than we have apart is important. There are not many places in America where you can go to the Polestar Music Festival of the Year, Bourbon and Beyond, the best and biggest rock festival of the year, Out Louder Than Life, where you can drive the biggest utility equipment that's known to mankind, where you can watch a rodeo or a tractor pull and eat the best donut burgers in the entire country. You can do all of those things right here at the Kentucky Fairgrounds. And so continuing to invest in this facility so we can attract even more events like all of those and so many others to Kentucky, to continue to attract visitors from around the world right here is so important. You know, we have 151 years of history here in Louisville of hosting the world. 151 years of experience thanks to the Kentucky Derby. And so going all in on this industry to host people in many different ways, in ways that people are still dreaming of what they can use these facilities for, is incredibly important. because every other city wants the type of events that we have in Louisville and that we're now going to be able to continue attracting and continue growing even larger. It doesn't happen by accident. It happens because of strong teams of people working together in partnership, many of whom are right here today. And I also want to give a very special thanks to President Stivers and Speaker Osborne. Thank you for the General Assembly's investment in this facility, investments in Louisville. What you're seeing today is the result of some of those investments coming to life. And they're in another budget session right now with many of their colleagues here today. We're excited about the opportunity for more investments here at Kentucky venues elsewhere around Louisville that will move our city forward and at the same time move the entire state forward. So congratulations, the city is here to support this construction project and every single event that calls this place home. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to now invite Speaker David Osborne, the Speaker of the House, to the podium to make remarks. I would just like to echo Mr. Beck's comments earlier. Speaker Osborne has been instrumental in us providing the funding and appropriation through his leadership in the House to be able to make what we are building here possible. We will all benefit, our children will all benefit from this in the future. Thank you, Speaker Osborne.
Thank you, Matt. First of all, let me again give my thanks to David Beck and his team. What an incredible job they do. Universally respected, not only in this industry, but in the halls of Frankfurt, certainly. And that's a testament to the board. A board that gives him the resources and empowers him to do the things that truly set this place apart. Great to be here on yet one more step in the story and history of this facility. I'm not going to lie, as David said, a lot of memories. I may shed a tear when I see the West Wing go down, because I slept on those cots too, Dr. Williams. But yeah, I realize that those memories are not. They're about this entire place. They're about what this place stands for. They're not about the bricks and mortar. So there's going to be a whole bunch of new, more comfortable memories made in the new facilities once they get opened. I am particularly pleased as the speaker, and I see some of my colleagues here. We set forth on a plan 8 years ago as we were writing the financial ship of the state. We focused our budgeting on getting our financial house in order and also focusing on our needs and not our wants. We set forth very strict standards, but we also knew that we had to invest, and we had to invest heavily in the future of Kentucky and in future infrastructure that would last forever and things that we could build on. A couple years ago, David came with a rather impressive budget request. And we did what we always do, and that was we asked for a business plan. And when we came back with that business plan, it was truly one of the most well thought out, well developed plans that we've been presented, certainly by a governmental entity. And we collectively saw the vision and the value. And now to see that continue to take place, to continue to see this place evolve is very special. I look forward to being back here for the ribbon cutting, and I look forward to many more memories being developed in this place over the years. Thank you.
My apologies for getting out of order here with being the new guy. Sorry, Mr. Speaker, for putting me on the spot there. I'll have to owe some apologies to my neighbor, who I'm very excited to come up here next to speak to you, a person that has not only my respect, but the respect of many colleagues across Kentucky, not only for his background in agriculture, but from his prior service as a state representative as well. So without further ado, I'll ask Mr. Brandon Reed to come to the podium, the Executive Director of Kentucky's Agricultural Policy.
It's okay, Speaker Osborne. I'm glad to take that shift in the agenda on your behalf. I appreciate you. It's always a blessing to share the stage and share just share the environment with these individuals behind me. They are true servants of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, second to none, and then that's just beholden today. But I am honored to bring greetings on behalf of the Commissioner Jonathan Shell and the Kentucky Department of Agriculture as we celebrate the important milestone for the Kentucky Exposition Center. Today is just not about bricks and steel. It's about momentum. It's about Kentucky continuing to invest in the infrastructure that drives opportunity, commerce, and agriculture across this Commonwealth. This facility has long been a front porch of Kentucky agriculture. Each November, the world comes to Louisville for the North American International Livestock Exposition. It is the largest all-breed, purebred livestock exposition in the world. It showcases Kentucky's leadership in animal agriculture and welcomes exhibitors from nearly every state and multiple countries. For many young people, it is where the first step in the ring and realize that agriculture can be their future. Every February, we just got through experiencing the campus because of the epicenter of the farm innovation during the National Farm Machinery Show. Farmers from across the nation gather here to see the latest technology, equipment, tools that drive productivity. It is a powerful reminder that agriculture today is advanced, innovative, and globally competitive. And each summer, families from every corner of our Commonwealth gather for the Kentucky State Fair, a tradition that connects urban and rural Kentucky, honors our families, and reminds us that agriculture is woven into the fabric of our daily lives. I'm about 45 years old, and I've attended about 41 state Kentucky fairs. These events are not just traditions, they are economic engines. Facilities like this do more than house events, though. They house opportunity. They represent confidence in our farmers and our communities. They represent belief in rural communities. And they represent the forward-looking commitment from state leadership that agriculture will continue to be central to Kentucky's prosperity. Commissioner Shell is deeply committed to ensuring Kentucky agriculture thrives in every county and every sector. Today's celebration reflects the shared commitment across state government, industry, partners, and community leaders. This edition stands as a symbol of Kentucky's strength, resilience, and vision. It is proof that when we invest in agriculture, we invest in economic development in its purest form. The future of Kentucky agriculture is strong, and with facilities like this, the future has room to grow. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for God, and bless our farmers, and bless the Commonwealth of Kentucky. Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon. And our final speaker of the day will be Senator Robert Stivers, a man that I've greatly admired. Early on, he may not remember it, but when I was with the state police before, and he was the president of the Senate, he and I would often walk back and forth across to the Capitol, to the annex, and I always admired him for his leadership then, and now it even continues even further. Through his leadership with the Senate, he has ensured that we have received and everything has come to fruition for what we are seeing today. So on behalf of myself and Kentucky Venues and all of Kentuckians, I'd like to introduce Senator Robert Stivers.
Starting to get a little worried there. Used to practice criminal law, and I thought you may have been one of the defense witnesses. But no, it's good to be here today, and I appreciate coming out. I want to go back. Several people have talked about their history here. Well, coming from Manchester, Kentucky, my first time to come to this venue was in 1972, but it wasn't for agriculture. It was to actually watch Owensboro win the state tournament in Freedom Hall. And many years, I go back, you'd walk down this long path from the executive end to watch the ball games. It was a big event for people to come from Eastern Kentucky or Western Kentucky. And I don't know how many people are old enough to remember high schools would get a couple of guys that made it to the state tournament and they would dribble all the way from their hometown to come here to watch the Sweet 16. So, the other thing, as it's developed, I have to think, I heard the Farm Expo and Machinery convention was here last week, and I have to kind of wonder about some people, because I heard many spouses, and this is how this has really expanded, saying, my husband's taking me out to this event for Valentine's Day. I'm like, come on, guys. You gotta go someplace else and farm show for Valentine's Day. But that's what this means to this area. You know, Louisville is the engine for the state of Kentucky. And within Louisville, there are engines within the engines. We're looking at the airport over there, downtown, KIC, the University of Louisville. But without a doubt, this is one of the engines within the city that brings hundreds of thousands of people here, hundreds of thousands of spending people who put their money in the restaurants, in the hotels, and the retail facilities in and around the city. So this is also an entity. You know, when Brandon talks about the fair, how many venues in the state of Kentucky can say they have attendance from all 120 counties and pre-sold tickets? This is it. This place in the Kentucky State Fair. And here in the center of the city of Louisville, our most urban area, what is it doing? It's promoting agriculture. Urban and rural coming together, no divide. It is us. So with that, when it comes to the General Assembly, and I cannot say enough about my partner, David Osborne, when we looked at this, and it started, I believe, Dr. Land 4, 5, 6 years ago, when we sat in an office talking about where we needed to go, and a $400 million plan over 2 budget cycles to renovate this facility. Speaker and I gladly came to the table with our colleagues from the House and Senate and said, this is something we need to do. This is a partnership we need to form. And I want to even go further. Over the last 3 years, 3.5 years, I guess, we've had a really good partnership with the mayor and working on various things that have happened here in the city because, as I said, this is the engine of the state of Kentucky. This is a good day for Louisville. But when you have a good day economically for Louisville, you have a good day for the state of Kentucky. Thank you all.
That concludes our list of speakers for today. Again, we would like to welcome all of you to go to the rear of our building to where the actual beam is and have an opportunity to sign the beam before it is erected and placed on top of the structure. Again, we will have food and music and entertainment back there as well, an opportunity to socialize and network, engage with stories on how your experiences have been here on the property in the past and what you most look forward to in the future. So again, thank you for coming today, and we appreciate it, and anything that we can do on behalf of Kentucky Venues, the Kentucky State Fair Board, let us know. Thank you.
Board members, Ian.